Okay, so we are ready to go. So I'm just going to start instead of waiting, but just want to make sure that we get an introduction of what United We Taste is, and I'm making sure we're all good here. Yes, perfect. Okay, well, welcome to the first version of United We Taste. My name is Cha McCoy, and the idea of doing this programming live and chatting with everyone started with the something that Filipe and I, after connecting on LinkedIn while studying Rioja, we was going to do a virtual tasting with each other. And so I said, hey, we should extend this to everyone. Filipe is based in Portugal. I'm as well, but currently in New York. And we thought because of social distancing, this is a way to still be able to continue our wine education and involve others from other places. So I will end with introductions, but I'm gonna let Filipe go ahead and start.
Hi, everybody. I'm Filipe. I'm from Portugal, the center part of Portugal in a small town called Águeda in the wine region of Bairrada. So as Cha mentioned, I'm very glad to join this group, United We Taste, to exchange ideas about wine. And well, since we are all at home, maybe we could taste wine together and experience some new tastings. So that's the main idea.
Filipe, tell them what you do and so that we can be able to get it.
Mostly I'm a wine lover. I've been in a wine field a few years ago. I was owning a wine house in my town. Currently, I'm not on the wine field, but I want to return. I was living in Africa for 8 years, and I just joined back to Portugal. So unfortunately, this COVID-19 has delayed my plans a little bit, but I'm not the guy to stay quiet. So that's why I joined the group, and hopefully we can do something together in the future.
Thanks, Filipe. Hande?
Hi, I'm Hande, better known as Vino Roma on social media. I'm a wine educator in Rome. I've been here for over 12 years now, active as Vino Roma, but I'm not originally from Italy. I am originally from Turkey, and then I was in Germany for a long time, and wine is my life, and always with food, by the way, the proper Italian way. And yeah, we are doing the social distancing thing. Actually, in Italy, it's a little bit more than just a recommendation of social distancing. We are really under lockdown. We may only go out under very special circumstances. Luckily, I do have many wines at home. Maybe you can see a little bit here.
Nice.
And and I am practicing, I'm tasting, I am drinking definitely wines at the moment. There is no spitting out at the moment, I have to admit. I am drinking everything that I open.
Yeah, I hope nobody has a spit bucket for this. This is like
not even close.
Tanisha?
Hi, I'm Tanisha. I currently live in Paris, France. I am a wine educator, a food and wine tour guide. I also do private tastings, private events, and teach courses at a university. And I'm excited to be here to taste with other people and not just by myself.
And just to circle back, I'm Cha, Cha Squid on Instagram. And this is the community that I'm usually hashing out problems with on, whether it's WhatsApp, in person, learning from them, from their feeds, and thought this would be a great opportunity to, instead of having to sit at the table and share wines with each other, we can still be able to highlight Italy at this time. As I posted earlier, I used to live in Italy, so it has a very special place in my heart, and I do have connections there as well. So this is a way to be able to inspire hope and to connect with those who are living there. So hopefully this become a thing, because sadly, more countries are turning into more lockdown modes. We'll have Andy tomorrow talking about Rome. We'll have Tanisha in the future talking about France and do French wines. So at this time, I'm gonna let Nicole take over and she'll talk about Central Italy.
Great. So, ciao a tutti. Welcome to this fantastic experience and chance for us from Italy, which is unfortunately the first European country that is so hit by this coronavirus. And when you, Cha, asked me if I was, available and willing to participate, I said yes straight away, because I not just love wines, but I also love people. So for me, the chance of staying connected and having the chance of tasting wines together, that's what it is. Wine, it's all about community, and it's all about as well sharing personal feelings, stories as well, from little producers to even remote areas from wherever they are. So there we go. I'm Nicole. I have a little studio in my region, Emilia Romagna, that I'm pretty sure now not everybody outside of maybe Italy knows where it is, but luckily after like my little tasting, you will all not just know where it is, but also come here with my nonna and my mama to have tagliatelle and pasta and wonderful Sangiovese on the table. So I do wine branding. So I help wineries from small to big wineries to create, position, promote the identity of their brands. Something that for me right now is very, very crucial, because stories, values, and again, participation and engagement are key in our industry. Whether we are some in a restaurant, whether we work in a wine shop, whether we are buyers for an importer, or just agents and we are just selling wine, or simply, the great thing, educating and tasting with people. Wine is not just about technical things. It's also about emotions, about people, culture that it brings within the glass. So I help those wineries, whether in north from south to Italy, to dig into their identity and then spread their energy and values from their internal people to the market. Doing whether we call like just staff trainings, experiences, meanings, so working what a brand means and then translating that into market. So going straight to the situation that we are having right now in Italy. Where right now it's in my studio in Cesena, which is a little small town in Emilia Romagna. Emilia Romagna is one of the regions, together with maybe Trentino, Alto Adige, Friuli, Venezia Giulia as well, that has a double name within its name. So Emilia is the part northern than Bologna. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows about Bologna for tortellini, tagliatella, ragù alla bolognese, but as well for the more, I would say, into cars, Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Ducati, Parmigiano as well. So it's a great.
Don't forget the Parmesan.
Yeah, don't forget. Don't forget. So it's a great part, of our region, where Bologna is just right in the middle, and Romagna, which is not that easy to pronounce because of that GN, in the name, is the southern part that is that has on the right side the Adriatic coast. And then on the southern side, the Apennines, so the mountains. So here, it's a very fertile region where we are very known for fruits, vegetables, peaches, whatever we can say about, agriculture and winemaking. Also, it's an area where we always say people are very generous and welcoming. I would say a saying also from Romagna is where when you just enter Romagna region and you just knock the doors, people are not just giving you a glass of water, but they are giving you a glass of Sangiovese. So again, I want you to come and experience that live when again we could travel again. So the wine that I will be tasting with you today, and hopefully I won't just go the entire bottle by myself, because otherwise I won't go by the entire, tasting, but that's a joke. So I think that, yes, these days put us in a very fragile feelings and situation. My region is under the red zone, as Lombardy, as Veneto, as the northern parts of Italy, where schools have been closed almost since a month right now. So all kids are just home. Many companies as well are just closed. And this is the first time that I would say, from a massive point of view, people are just smart working. Since last week, last Saturday, we cannot go out. So we need to stay home or go just out for groceries or any work serious reason. So whenever, every time, this is something as well, I think it's important for people that, outside of these places here have different rules right now. We need to print a paper, writing down who we are, what we do, why we're going out of home. And we may be checked anywhere, anytime, whether we are walking the dog or just taking the car and going out. And if it's not for groceries or work reason, we are submitted to a fine. So people need to stay home. And this is very, very important. At the beginning, I'm honest, I was not getting that as a serious thing, as a way, okay, I'm just going out for work, I'm just going meetings, doing all my things. But then I realized that even friends are in a very difficult situation. Hospitals are about to be like almost over for people that have, of course, got the virus. So I invite everybody to, wherever you are in the world, to have the same, social attitude of staying home, staying with your family. And guys, it will be just for a few weeks, if all together we will be respecting this simple rule. Stay home, not meeting other people, and not risking of infecting that to others. So again, very good things and signs. Before I go to wine from Italy, a few days ago, people were just opening their balconies and playing music out of the window as a form of, community, that this is what we are all about. It's not just Italy, it's human being. So people want to stay together. We were saying before how empathy is key, in these moments. So yeah, we are just opening the windows and allowing music to enter the house. It's not just that. I'm doing African dancing classes, and I hope my teacher is listening to that. So yeah.
I may join you. Can we do that virtually? Can that be a thing?
Please.
Right.
So
Show me some moves.
Can we have a dance?
So guys, that's an amazing thing, by the way, that I discovered. I'm following the griot from Guinea, people that are whether in France or living in Africa, and every other day there is an hour, class. So it's funny because everybody's just joining. You will see that there are hundreds of people joining the class.
Oh, wow. Yeah, type the name in the chat and I'll put it in the YouTube chat so people can follow too.
Yeah. I will. So going to the wine and just
if, I don't know, in case somebody had questions before we
please.
between us for you. You said something that did spark. So I guess I asked you jokingly, was everybody really singing? So it sounds like where you live is not a matter of people singing opera on the porch, but you're like blasting your own, like everyone's like a DJ, I guess. So it's like a mixtape in your community. You have music from different genres playing all day, or is it a particular hour? Because they sound like in some towns it's like at 5 o'clock, people come out and start singing. So is it structured in that way?
Well, I can say that in the way lifestyle of Romagna people, we really like to party a lot. So the excuses, bringing people to socialize and to stay together are like now just going every now and then we have messages or chats where, come on, join this DJ session, come on, join that. So there are amazing festivals on the beach as well, because the beach is just 15 minutes driving away. And we all hope that it won't be affected by that restriction that right now, we even don't know when basically we will have the chance of going out again. But fingers crossed, when the summer, whether it's May or June, we will be all going out and getting that feeling of what it is right now. So socialize, staying close, and no matter the distance, we all do something that we can have the chance of getting, connected, as we are doing right now.
I have a question again, and this is more related to the producers you work with.
Yeah.
And then somebody can ask a question. So it's what, the first day of spring was yesterday. So how are the grapes? What's like, I guess is there social distancing between the producers and the grapes? What's the vibe in the vineyards, I guess?
Yeah. So first, I really had that this morning when a client of mine sent me a voice message at 6 a.m. So I listened to that, and then I replied straight away saying, hey, what are you doing? You know, I'm listening that you are in the car, you kind of go out. And the message I got, it was, hey, do you know what? I'm a wine producer. I have vineyards, and the vines don't understand the quarantine. So I gotta go. And this is the situation, because since we really didn't have winter this year here, usually we have snow here and there, but this year we really were in a like spring mode since the end of February. So the buds are out already. The vineyards are in a fantastic, spring flower mode. And if that is gonna keep going, people need to work in the vineyards, and this is what people need to do.
Yeah, I guess that clicked in just now as well, because I'm like, well, they can't go unmanaged for so long, so it's one thing to like, okay, we pruned in January, and then you said you already started like a month ago with the lockdown in your region. So of course, that's having a much larger effect when people are like, okay, now you're going to get fined if you go more than 5 kilometers away from your house. And with all these, you got to write a letter. I mean, if the Italian government is any way it was when I lived there, I'm sure it's going to take a lot more than just getting special passes. I think you have to go out in hazmat and act like you're one of the nurses and sneak away to the vines. I don't know. We got to come up with a scenario for the winemakers.
Yeah, and it's not just about the masks, that we are obliged to put when we are with people, but it's, again, I think we are in a crisis mode where people are just from the government are looking at that in a very safe mode. And this is why, instead of saying, come on, just keep going with your normal routine, work, whatever you do, let's stay home without moving for a couple of weeks, because if we all do the same, then it will be even easier and faster, to go back to your normal routine. So, that made us in a very different, I would say, mind mode, where community matters even more than any time, that we got something in that sense, any crisis. So right now, community and support, help in any way. I see as well friends, people, I'm reading the magazine every day, then the journal every day, they are volunteering, going out and doing the grocery or shopping for maybe elder people that, as you can imagine, in Italy we have many, and so they cannot just go out, because if your parents or if your grandparents are old, you cannot even go and meet them. You can't even go and say, hi, Nonna, how are you today? You need to stay home, because they are the first that can be infected and risk their life. So yeah, community, and again, the sense of being all together is what we are now really experiencing and doing. Yeah.
Going to your wine.
So yeah, as when you told me about this chance of a virtual tasting, and I realized straight away that the keyword that was in your mind was community. So that's the reason why I chose a specific wine that has community and cooperative collaboration, but also sustainability in its DNA. So here, guys, this is Bolé.
Bring it up to the
front. This is a very, very interesting, cooperative, sustainable project that myself, together with my team, since a couple of years, since its beginning, we've been growing, managing, and we are very proud of its story, and again, of its wine itself. So just a few things, you know, before we go to the glass, and hopefully, you know, right now we are in the UK, in Italy, but we are looking for other markets. So before that, because you won't be able to find in your local wine shop, so let me tell you a few key things. First of all, as I told you, Romagna has a maritime climate on the eastern side. On the Apennines, we have, you know, more extreme, you know, conditions. So Bolé, as we say, the bubble revolution was born from a synergy of an hyper selection of 20,000 growers of my region. And as Romagna is 20,000 kilometers, that means that every kilometer we have one grower that right now is suffering, is experiences, you know, difficult times. And 2 years ago, this idea, this fantastic idea, came out from two cooperatives that they are competitors, and in their mind would never have the chance of saying, come on, let's stay together and do something in the name of synergy. They realized that because the majority of those 20,000 growers are also making fruits, and they are not getting, unfortunately, you know, money for what they do. So the only reason to sustain their future and also allowing their families to create a more sustainable path for the whole region was create a valuable project. So a wine that got in itself a different idea of quality, being collaborative, and again, doing things in a different way, as we are doing right now. So that's why they decided to look at themselves, two giant and two very competitors, and say, come on, why don't we do something that, you know, we are both proud of? So we hyper selected 97 from the 20,000 families, growers that they have maximum 2.5, 3 hectares each. And as you can understand, alone, they cannot even go, not just far, but they cannot even start bottling the wine themselves. So the only reason to create something was to create, again, a synergy and understanding that the two main grape varieties that we have in the region are Trebbiano and Sangiovese. We all know Sangiovese, the most planted grape variety from Italy, but maybe Trebbiano, not that much. So that's why I would love to dedicate this little talk to Trebbiano. Trebbiano, that name refers to a family actually of vine variety. Trebbiano from Romagna, Trebbiano from Abruzzo, Trebbiano as well from Lago di Garda, Trebbiano from Tuscany. And Trebbiano as a family comes back from the Roman times. So it's really, 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 I don't want to say antique if it's the right word or not. There's a big story behind. And back in the past, it was called Uve Turbiane. Uve Turbiane referred to the white color. So Turbiane referred to the white color and also to the fact that it was a very, I would say, neutral kind of grape variety. So what can we offer here in Romagna, where we are not that known, because in the past people used to do a lot of quantities instead of quality. So massive production rather than really quality. In this case, Bolé, so the newest DOC sparkling wine from Italy, is made from 95% Trebbiano and 5% Famoso. So let me tell you a few things again from Trebbiano. Trebbiano is a neutral grape variety, has a great acidity, white floral notes, but also being very, I would say, versatile as a grape. You can have different feelings and characteristics depending on the soil where you plant it. So whether it's very sandy, like closer to the Apennines, the Trebbiano will be more like, I would say, sea driven. So having the memory of the sea. While where we got the grapes from the 97 producers, Trebbiano is a fantastic sparkling base, because it's great for, again, that neutral and acidity characteristics that match very well with Famoso. Famoso is the other grape variety that is indigenous from Romagna. And despite its name, that is Famoso, is the less known grape variety, I believe, people know. So it's not famous at all. When people over the world, and I'm doing like trainings or tasting, they always say, hey, what can I say about Famoso? Well, remember the fact that it's not famous, and then you remember the name. So it's not famous. But Famoso the first traces of Famoso are from the 9th century, and it was table wine. So people were really eating the clusters with that thick skin, and it was used for the family consumption. And then just in the last century, people started to vinify Famoso as well. It's an aromatic grape variety, first of all. And it's like belonging to the Malvasia family. And it brings texture to the party. So going back again to Bolé, it's a definitely fantastic as all over, not just an aperitivo, all over the meal, or just a conversation starter, but with the fact that it's so brut, first of all, so 8 grams of sugars per liter. So that means it's not sweet. And I would say it's perfect for like all over the meal. That's what I think as well. And in order to increase not just the drinkability, but especially the persistence of the wine, we decided with the enologists and with the winemakers to keep it in the tank for longer than possible. So rather than usual like Charmat, like 30 days, we keep the wine in the tank for 90, 100, 120 days. So it's a pity that you cannot see, but the bubbles are very fine, very persistent, like a sort of, more champagne. And we are very as well happy with that. Not just because it tastes great and great texture, great feeling, but especially because it carries a great ethos, a great meaning in itself. So collaborative meaning, a chance of taking the whole area that is not known to another new horizon. That's why the label, it's blue. As you can see here, and all our communication is blue, like the blue of the sky, blue of the horizons, blue of the sea, blue as well of the vision. So being the visionary and pioneering, as we always say, wine, we wanted to play. And last but not least, it's also a female-led wine. Together with me, a fantastic group of women that we've been developing Bolé since the beginning, supporting, helping the community. So we really want to take that vision and the farther that we can. support local communities, and tell the story. So, salute.
Thanks, Nicole. And I know that Hande and Tanisha both have sparkling as well. So I'm gonna let either one of y'all go next so y'all can keep the bubbles feeling alive.
I'll leave it to Hande since she's in Italy. We'll let the Italians go first.
Thank you so much, Tanisha. Yeah,
No
I
problem.
do have a bubbly today as well. That's true. I do love sparkling wines, and it is from Trentino, from the very north. And you can see it does look cloudy and everything, and that is because of the method how it was made. And in my glasses, you can see it. It's like really cloudy looking. You can see it's the dead yeast basically that you're seeing. It's the Surli method, which this winery is a so-called natural winery and makes so-called natural wines. And the way they create this sparkling wine is the grape juice starts fermenting by itself, so wild fermentation, and before the fermentation is complete, so there are still sugars in there, it is already bubbled. Okay, and then the fermentation is completed in the bubble. You know, it is different than the other more famous methods like the champagne method or the Charmat method, which is mostly used for Prosecco. This is the Surli method, or you can also sometimes hear like the ancient method, some people call it. And it is a very, let's say, easier way of making a sparkling wine. And I guess you cannot see the bubbles anymore. First of all, because it's been a while that I've poured it into my glass already. And second of all,
Sounds like you need more wine.
But also I have to admit this style of sparkling wine creation does not bring out a lot of bubbles. It's never going to be as bubbly and foaming up as a champagne or a Prosecco, I have to say. Let me just taste it real quick again. It's warmed up a little bit. And it is a beautiful acidity, definitely, which is to be expected. It is about like over 700 meters, about 2,000, 2,100 feet altitude where the vineyards are. And it's a blend of 4 very local white grape varieties. And the acidity is totally to be expected. It is kind of being balanced out by the yeastiness that's in there. It's a beautiful wine. Beautiful wine. I have to say, it is not like, you know, this is not a wine. I sometimes say like, you don't maybe necessarily want to write home about this, you know, like this is not maybe necessarily the wine that you're going to go poetic about and write a whole treatise about, you know, but this is more, you want to drink it. Like I'm kind of trying to stop myself and not take another sip on camera now, because it is really, it's making my mouth water and it's appetizing. I feel like, oh, darn, I should have had something to eat with this. And which is the case with most Italian wines, I have to say. And I can imagine later on tonight we'll be baking pizza. So I can see the pizza going well with this. If you're really fried things that are, you know, greasy, anything that you would want to put a squeeze of lemon juice on, I can definitely recommend this wine, or a wine like this, you know, from northern Italy with nice acidity. This is the kind of wine that you want to drink with not heavy food, I don't want to say that, but the greasier kind, where you want that lemony acidity to brighten things up a little bit. It's beautiful. Cheers.
Perfect. I think now I want some, and I think it's, I'm like, that's the sad part about COVID-19. You're like, wait a minute, let me go get a glass of that. So, but I did put a place where you can get the wines people mentioned that are accessible, whether it's in US or New York. So, and I'll continue to update it as we get more information. So, Tanisha, go ahead, share your bubbles with us.
Yes, so I am drinking a Prosecco. And this one is from the Veneto region. This is it from Spriso, Prosecco DOC, so extra dry. And I chose this one because one, I had it, and it's hard for me to go out because lockdown. And the thing that's interesting about this one is it uses the Charmat method, and for quite a long time, it's for 8 months. And so it has that extra time to spend on the yeast and to get those extra yeasty flavors. You also get thinner bubbles, but they're more persistent. I mean, not in my glass because I have been drinking from this one. So I probably do need to pour some more, but I like the flavor of this. I like the yeasty note to also get good acidity. It is 13 grams of sugar. 13 grams of sugar, 100% Glera grape. And I really like this with spicy foods. So for dinner tonight, I'm actually gonna have like a Cajun stir fry. It's got some chicken and some sweet potatoes and some corn and a little bit of bacon and some Cajun spices and stuff. So I think it'll be amazing with that.
Over here, the
I
lockdown.
have become a full lockdown chef. So my quarantine skills are on a trip.
Do you accept takeaways?
Yeah, are you doing delivery?
And see, I don't have any containers. So like I would do a little to-go thing, but you just have to take my word for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Done with it, yes. But the winemaker here is Pierre Spriso, and he works on the winery with his wife, Rekka. And it's a very amazing Prosecco. So cheers.
And perfect time because you all have the sparklings, but it's brunch time in New York. So I guess this is perfect for everyone on the East Coast here.
And this is a really good one for brunch as well because it's light. It's something that people always think sparkling wine is just for special occasions and only drink it for celebrations. No, it's Saturday and we're talking to each other, drink a sparkling wine. Tuesday, you get off work, it was a hard day or it wasn't a hard day. Drink a sparkling wine. So I think people should drink more sparkling wine. And since 3 out of the 5 of us have sparkling wine, we are furthering that point.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, because in the end, like as we say, it's a sort of conversation starter. So it's just an excuse as well to start the conversation, whether we are alone, so we can talk with ourselves, which is sometimes a good thing, and especially when we are in lockdown mode right now. So whether it's just an aperitivo, whether it's a pasta, whether it's chicken, whether it's more complicated, I would say, meal, or just as a dessert, sparkling wine there's always the good moment during the day.
Agreed.
It's funny, one of my favorite Proseccos is Drusian. I'm not doing sparkling, so I'm just gonna mention Drusian. They're a small producer as well, and I love it. And I think that, of course, in the US we have, and I think around the world, when you see Prosecco, all you think of its lowest quality level, not the highest quality level. So I'm glad you guys are all sharing smaller producers, not all Proseccos, but Italian sparkling. And also because everyone thinks that Italian sparkling equals Prosecco. No, there's other names. Look, everyone's like, no.
Right. It's good to show the versatility of it, that
Please,
it's so
just
much
understand.
sparkling wine in Italy outside of Prosecco, for sure.
Right. If you get sparkling wine from Italy, does not equivalent to Prosecco. So even if we help you learn that today, that's a start.
Mission accomplished.
For sure. So I have a white, and I know Filipe has a red, so I'm gonna actually go next. And I hope I'm not butchering this producer, so I'm gonna leave it to my Italian ambassadors to look as well. Ooh, I have too much light. Nope, I can't do it. Okay, well, y'all have to trust me.
Put your hand over the top of it like a little shade.
Oh, okay.
No, not over the camera, over the top of the label a little, like a cover. Like, you know how you put your hand over your eyes? Put your hand over. There you go.
Oh, that's how
you go a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Polonara, the producer, Lyricus.
Yes. I'm like, you already know who the YouTube experts are when they already know the tricks. I'm like, you lucky I got light. That's all. it's been cloudy in New York, so I'm just happy that we got sunlight today. But so yes, so I'm sipping on Verdicchio from Leimer. So I wanted to highlight a wine that I would normally bring to a group tasting that is usually like the underdog wines or underdog region. Verdicchios for me are super amazing with food. Maybe it's because I'm a flexitarian. So I normally have wines that go well with vegetables and seafood. And so Leimer is also one of those regions in central Italy, like where Nicole's at, but it's kind of no one know it exists. I fell in love with the region because of really, not Leimer, but the area because of Abruzzo. I think everyone knows Montepulciano, and that becomes like everyone's go-to red, no matter what country you're in. And so then I end up tasting whites from that same area. So that led me to drinking Verdicchio that's originally from Leimer. So the one that I have, and let me just retaste as well. High acid, it's a citrus bomb, but it's this nice green apple note that keeps it nice and crisp that I love. This is a 2018. So the aged version of this one, which I've had as well, you'll get more almonds with a more of an oxidized green apple. This one is like fresh, crisp green apple and a little bit of fennel on the finish. The alcohol makes it kind of adds to the acidity level, which is pleasant more with food, I would say, versus having by itself if it's too bitter for, let's say, the average consumer. I would say those who love maybe Sauvignon Blancs will love this. If you're a Sauvignon Blanc fan, then I can see you enjoying this wine easily. I had a pairing dish of asparagus and hollandaise sauce with it, just to cut the acidity with the cream. You already know what I do for a living, right? So like, I go straight to like, what's the dish? What are we doing? How can we use this? Because you know what? Smaller regions, when you think about it, not only do they get less love, they also, they have the best value. So if I'm gonna put a wine on the list or recommend a wine to someone, they go, you know what? I really don't have the money for that, Sauvignon Blanc from Touraine or, from the Loire Valley. That's so, everyone's talking about these Sancerres, but I can't afford that. So I try to give them something that's still good. They're going to have great quality, but it may be a great they never heard of, instead of just giving you a cheap Sauvignon Blanc. I normally think this way. So when I'm giving advice or when I'm doing pairings, because everyone has a budget, and I think there's a wine pairing budget. So in this case, I wanted to share a grape that is usually not talked about. I always think about Italian grapes that start with V's, normally you're safe. Vermentino, Verdicchio, Valpolicella. It's kind of like, if you stay with a V, I think you feel like everybody's like, right on, you safe. I think that was a trick I learned when I was living there. I was like, even if I don't know how to say it, go with the one with the V, So yeah, I don't know if there's any other notes that I wanted to, I talked about pairing. Yeah, so the producer, I knew very little about, but his wines is carried by the wine shop that I used to work at. So in this case, it was like the go-to one for me to showcase today for as far as Verdicchios. I don't know if anybody else want to add notes on Verdicchio, especially Nicole, with you living in the area or nearby, because I've only had kind of these two larger styles, which is the age ones. And when I say age, I would say 5 to 6 years, nothing older than that. And then this one, like I said, is 2018, so 2-year-old one. But it's very pleasant, as you can see from the color, possibly very clear, light, crisp wine. I'm even thinking about pulpo, grilled. I'm like, now I'm getting hungry for real. But this is where I'm going with that. But nice wine, pleasant for food.
Great. Yeah, Verdicchio, it's a great great variety that is almost cultivated in Le Marche region. And we are really neighbors, with Le Marche, because my region, Emilia Romagna, on the southern part, has the border with the Verdicchio area. And I think it's a great choice as well, because the wines are usually, whether you get structure or more texture, but they are with, as you said, fantastic acidity, easy to drink, and perfect to pair with almost anything that you have in the house, especially these days. Oh, I don't know what to cook tonight. The shop are closed. So we also need something that is versatile in our hands.
Filipe is on you. Close us out with the red.
Yeah, so the red. So the red that I bring today is Negro Amaro. It's from the wine producer Torridoro. It's from the Puglia region, in the southern part of Italy, and particularly on the Salento area.
Show us the label if you can.
A little bit higher.
Higher, yeah, a little higher.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So I was fortunate to have a few bottles of this wine. A friend of mine was traveling to Italy a few months ago. So he gave me a few bottles. This is the last one. I was saving it for a rainy day, but I guess every day now is a rainy day. So might as well drink it today.
Thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah, that's
Virtually.
the idea. So I'm sure Nikki and Andy must know this region much better than I. I just Googled a little bit. I think this is Negro Amaro is kind of a native grape variety in the area. Not very known outside, even for myself. I didn't knew it before I started drinking it. And I'm enjoying a lot. This wine is from 2015. It's 14 degrees alcohol, and it's 100% Negro Amaro. It has the particularity of winning a gold medal on the Berlin wine trophy. And it's a wine that I particularly like. Besides the color, as you can see, I will show it. As the name says, Negro, it's very dark color, very red, dark color. And on the aromas, I can immediately sense some berries, some fruit berries here. And on the taste, for me, it's perfect. Very good structure. It's kind of the like of wines that I like. And kind of rustic also. You feel kind of notes from the earth. Yeah. Well, I believe this wine is a wine that goes well with roast meat. It has the good structure for that. And I would advise everyone to try it because it was a good discovery for me. So hope you enjoy it, and a toast to all our fratelli in Italy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
And remember, if it is not from the Champagne region of France, it's just sparkling isolation.
It's just sparkling isolation.
You just had a sparkling insulation.
Sparkling isolation.
I like that. All right, she's now the queen of the wine memes and jokes for now on.
Yes, I love it.
It's been
And I
nominated.
mentioned,
Yes.
Tanisha earlier, she told you do the wine tours, etc. And she do mainly champagne. So she didn't mention this because that we have a champagne expert talking about Prosecco. So I think this is a win. This is unity happening right now.
Yes. Northern Italy needs the help more than Champagne right now. So
Yeah. So no,
now when we do France, we'll circle back. We'll circle back.
Okay, yeah, no, but I think that shows a lot of like where we at, the state of the world. We got people that's exclusively champagne. You know that they don't want to drink nothing else but champagne, before they drink Prosecco. So so we know that you really showing love by supporting Italy today. But I don't know. Let me check the chat to see if anybody has any questions. I know there a sense of delay, so let me just type here. I see Nicole, you've been answering some folks.
Nice.
But if you want to, well, we have about 10 minutes left. So if somebody want to just follow up with anything, I've been taking notes. I don't know if y'all see me writing because I'm always
So official.
You're doing the minutes.
Right.
Uh,
Send us copies after the call, after the video call.
yeah, but it's more or less. Oh, someone said next time she'll have the kava to keep the peace between Italy.
Yeah.
So yeah, so thanks again for everyone joining. Again, the idea was just to have a virtual tasting group, and this is our first run. Filipe and I will keep this going just to have more of you guys who are actually locked down and can't touch anyone else, like you said, because of government control, to still have a means of socializing with others. And so I hope this brings some joy to you guys' life as well, and hope that we can actually add more people from different wine regions who are willing to share their story, like Nicole did, and how Andy would do tomorrow, about their situation, and for us to be able to share with each other. So thank you for going through your tasting notes with us and sharing wines that you geeked out about. Anybody else that's following, thanks for joining us, whether you chatted or not. And the list of everything that we tasted today is on my website, the link that you grabbed this YouTube from. So, and I'll make sure to put it in a YouTube video. I'm new to YouTube, so it's going to be a minute for me to learn all the things that I can do there, but you can find a list of everything that we tasted as well. Any final thoughts from everyone?
Drink Italian wine.
Drink Italian wine.
Yeah.
Or
Support
just
your
drink
local
wine.
shop.
Support your local wine shop, your local
Support
wines
your
if
local
you
wine
can.
shop.
Yes, a lot of places are still open for online delivery. So definitely look into that and do that.
Yeah, that's a big part of this, making sure that those who are open during this time they open for us to,
Yes.
understand that even in lockdown countries, the wine shop is still open. So I think in New York, they have a list of what they call essential things need to be open, and it's like a liquor store is one of them. So it's like, well, if it's there, it's, you don't, no one's telling you to rush to go buy the whole, like with this toilet tissue madness, you don't have to go rush and buy all the cases of Prosecco tomorrow, but hey, why not get it delivered? Keep them in business.
And you know what? It's something as well that we are all belong as well to the on-trade. And I think that this moment is putting all of us and our friends on pressure, because basically many, whether they are in the US, in Italy, in Europe, in Asia, we are basically like suffering a lot because of staying home and not, working. And I can witness that really amazing cases here in my region, but as well in Italy, people that never had any home deliveries. They really started to call their chefs, call their people and say, you know what, we're still open. So please order food. We're gonna deliver with no extra expenses to your home. And because in my area as well, we are not allowed to go extra province. So basically means that if I'm here, I kind of go like a half-hour driving because I will be on the next province. So it's really like we need to stay close. So my invitation as well is to really thanks to the entrepreneurs, to the restaurant peoples that from one day to another got the idea of saying, hey, you know what, we have the kitchen, we have the chef, they're home, the people are ready, let's make us something so that you can order your favorite food even home, and as well get your wine. So really bravo for those that are willing to support that.
Right, and to still face, because they're still interfacing with people in some way, whether that's coming to your doorstep and making a delivery, and putting themselves at risk. So, and obviously, to be honest, really, they're not essential to life or death. So technically, unlike a nurse or a doctor, they're actually risking themselves by being in the kitchen and making the deliveries, et cetera, instead of staying home. So we definitely want to make sure that if we have the means to, that we are supporting them, since they're going out there to risk that for us. So at least be some level of normalcy, like, oh, I want to drink something else, or I ran out of wine, I'm going to go crazy. Like they are there for us to kind of stay calm during this situation. So So if there's any wine shops that you all know that's in your local area that's open, I'm more than happy of adding that to the list as well. Whether that's where you got the wines that you have or not, just so people in your region, if they follow and they can know, this is the shop that's nearest to you that you can support, that you know for sure it's open today for deliveries. I'll be happy to tag them on Instagram or anything, just so people can know to reach out to them. Okay.
All right.
Just for tomorrow, we're gonna have a new group, that means new wines, but we're still staying in Italy. So join us tomorrow at the same time. And hopefully if you're tasting anything, the chat's been active, it looked like towards the end. So tomorrow, hopefully we'll continue that excitement over at the chat room. And if you ever have questions for us, we will, or I will check in and then I will be able to answer right away. Let's see. Some coming just says, thanks for this. You're welcome. Very informative, great discussion. So yeah, so thanks everyone for following us. And if there's any specific questions for anyone, all of the information is on my website as well, whether it links you to their website or to their Instagram. So as Nicole said earlier, ciao a tutti, a te proxima, until next time, everyone. And yeah, stay safe, stay blessed, and talk to you all soon.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.